version, a playoff version of Bill Roden on Sports Bros Pod. I'm Bill Roden here at an empty uh, Affinity Stadium, wherever the hell the
L-
76ers
Let
play.
me see the view, Bill. Let's. What does it look like
I mean,
over there?
it was. Let me see. It's empty as hell. I mean, can you? I mean, it's really. I mean, this is almost as dead as it was during the game. Can you see this?
Yeah, yeah,
Can you see? People cleaning up and
yeah.
you know,
But it cleared out early. What a mid fourth quarter.
you're probably like the halftime. No, I mean, but it was Knicks fans. I mean, they were just it was like really obnoxious, man. I mean,
I couldn't tell from the, I was at like a bar type
uh,
restaurant, so I couldn't, they had the sound on, but I couldn't really get the feel of how
no, I
many
mean
Nick fans.
they were like booing Embiid when he's at the foul line, booing him
Really?
when he came back in the game. I mean, it was like
What was the
really
percentage? What percentage Nick fans you
50-50.
think? Wow.
It's almost half. It sounded half, and
Wow.
then because the Knicks started running, I mean, they started running away with it. There was nothing for the Philadelphia fans to cheer for. So it was like this was like Madison Square Garden East, you
Right.
know.
Right. Right. I
So
remember I was talking about this, like, for Brunson, Hart, and Bridges. This is home for them.
right, yeah, yeah. I mean, the fans tried to kind of like give them the cold shoulder, but this is like their home, man. They spent four
Right.
years here.
They have
I,
banners, right? They have Villanova banners in there. They showed that on the television feed.
oh my God, yeah, I didn't see the banners, but
Hmm.
they're real comfortable, you
Right.
know. And Embiid came back and no real confidence. I think he scored 18 points, 5 rebounds. So
Do you think they sweep?
it looks pretty good, man. I mean, I don't see what they're going to do between now and Mother's Day.
Right, right.
You know,
OG and Obi didn't even play.
he didn't play. They didn't need
Right.
him. You
They
know,
didn't need him. They didn't
so
need him.
maybe he'll go back to New York. He may not even made a trip.
Yeah, you should. They should definitely keep him in New York. You don't need him for
Yeah, and
Game
just do
Four.
his rehab and wait for and Cleveland Cleveland extends Detroit, hoping that series goes like 7 games,
Right,
you
right,
know, so they could just heal everybody up,
right.
So then we'll have like Eastern Conference, 2 years in a row, right? Knicks in
Yeah,
the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row.
which will be great for Mike Brown. And Mike Brown's looking good right now.
He looked good now. He had a rocky regular season,
Right.
you know, which I guess, but here they are. They're like, 2 games away from a game away from, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty convincing, man. My column, of course, is about which you laughed at, Embiid's legacy. I kept thinking about it. Why is the brother chuckling? I mean, you think that that's just piling on? You think that there's not? You think there's not a legitimate angle Embiid's legacy?
Well, you're coming at it from a negative perspective, right?
So now you're the arbiter of.
I'm the,
You
I'm the,
sound like Trump, man. Oh, it's negative. Okay, tell me the story you would write.
no, no.
Tell me.
I'm not passing judgment on the story.
Yes, you are. You're coming from a negative
No,
standpoint.
I'm just seeing what angle it's coming from. Where
What
you
angle
say
do you think?
it has to be negative, right? It has to be
well.
negative.
It's not really. I mean, if you look at the larger story coming from Cameroon, all that brothers
Right.
won.
No,
And
yeah,
he's won big time.
he has.
He's
He
won. I
has.
think you
He
sent
has.
me his
The, pr-
numbers, right?
the problem is, it looks like he knows he's won already.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
problem.
well, you mean in terms of him, what like not being like Kobe Bryant or something?
Right,
Like
right,
no, I don't
right.
think he's that. I don't think he's stepped in that claw. I don't, I don't think he
or
stayed up
even
in
or
there.
even a Patrick Ewing is, like he's not
Yeah.
even that cloth.
Who I saw Patrick just before I came up here because every Nick is here. Alan
Right,
Houston,
right.
who was
Everybody
an
there.
executive with
Every
him.
Knicks celebrity too is there.
Yeah, Spike. I saw Spike. He gave me
Spike
a
is there.
handshake. Clyde. You know,
Clyde, Tracy Morgan. I saw Fat Joe and Jadakiss.
oh brother,
There's everybody's there. You know.
and it's only going to get worse. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and the question, and I guarantee you, Mandami is going to be there. Mandami is going to be there. If the
He
Knicks
needs
play,
to. Where is he? Well, I can't believe I haven't seen him already. Like, where is he? He needs to be there.
he's running the city.
Yeah, that's true.
He's trying to.
Hey, he's actually doing a decent job. I haven't, nothing's, the
Yeah,
cities looks pretty good.
yeah. I guess trust me, if the Knicks get to the NBA Finals, you're going to have. I think you're going to Mandami, and you may have somebody else there too.
Hochul.
Holcomb may be all of them. All of them may
Right.
be there.
Right.
Hakeem
No,
Jeffries.
you know who'll be there? Trump.
Well,
Trump
yeah,
might show up.
I'm telling you. Oh, was trying not to say his name, but yeah, clearly
Yeah, that's true.
it'll be a whole thing. And then even what boo or not, people boo. He'll be like, how they do.
Yeah. Oh, he has to show up.
Right.
If the Knicks make the finals, he's showing up. There's no question.
Right, no question. That's going to be a whole nother thing. And then security is going to be a pain in the ass.
Maybe you think Dolan security would throw Trump out like they did Oakley?
Oh, no, I don't think so. No, come on, Jamal. You kidding me? No. They actually may clear the arena. Maybe nobody will be there.
That's true. They'll throw everybody else out. That's what.
Right. Or just have it like be. Remember they had like the Republican convention. It'll be like a Republican convention.
All right. Now I'm getting physically ill talking about this.
It'll be a Republican convention, Madison Square Garden.
I can't.
Oh my God, unbelievable. So yeah, man. So you watch from a bar.
Well, it was technically a coffee shop turned into a bar for the night.
Everybody's trying to make.
Oh, you know who I was. It was Angela Yee's coffee. Like she owns the coffee shop, and she had the game playing at her place.
Oh, Angela Yee.
Yeah.
Okay, was she there?
Yeah, she was there in Brooklyn, on Bedford and Gates.
Nice.
In Bed-Stuy.
We like Angela Yee. Did she have time to come on the show? She came on the show. She came on the show a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, I'm sure she would. Get her back
on the show. She's not with the Breakfast Club anymore, right?
No, she bowed out. She had enough of the sensationalism of the Breakfast Club, and she has her own show. She has her own syndicated show that comes on right after the Breakfast Club. It's called, anyway, all the way up with the Yee or something like that. But
okay, oh good. We have to. You have to have her on the show, man, to talk about the show and talk. I think she talk about you because you guys go way back, right?
Yeah. Enough of that. No more.
Yeah, let's look forward. Look forward.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of which, so we're looking forward to Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know. You're a recovering Knicks fan. You said you're not a Knicks fan anymore.
No, I'm rooting for him in this series.
Yeah.
So
you're rooting for him to sweep. Are you rooting for him to go all the way?
Yeah, I think so. For some reason, if they would have played Boston, I would have been torn because I've always rooted for Tatum and Brown like for years. But
you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, now there's no other team that I would root for over the Knicks now.
Mm-hmm.
If it was, I would root for them to beat OKC in the final. I'd root for them to beat San Antonio, Detroit.
Right.
Cleveland, I might be a little torn because, I go way back with Donovan Mitchell. I watched him since he was in high school. A friend of mine coached him AAU.
Oh, okay.
So I knew him since then.
Oh, he's a New York kid.
Yeah. So, but that's the only thing.
You may not have to worry about Cleveland. I don't know.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. Yeah.
That may be a wrap, and it could be a wrap for Kenny Atkinson, who I like.
Well, I mean, what's he in his second year? Do you think they would fire him? It would be a good look for Bickerstaff, right?
Yeah. Has he been named Coach of the Year yet? Has that come out yet?
Hasn't come out yet.
So Joe Mazzulla still has a shot. I don't know. They may go back into that vote. Say
but Mazzulla said it's a stupid award.
I'm sure I wonder if that affected the voters when they vote. So hey, if you think it's so dumb, I'm not going to vote.
It should affect it. I think it would affect me. I would be like, he doesn't want it anyway.
Why am I going to vote for somebody who thinks it's a dumb award?
Exactly.
He called me a dummy for voting for him, so I'm going to vote for somebody who could appreciate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, man. I mean, there's not a lot to say. Embiid I know that you see all these issues with me
No, I have no
writing
issues.
a negative, what you call a negative column about.
No,
He didn't
that's
show
all.
up for the press
That's the
conference.
only way you can go, right? That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well, I don't know
what
if it's.
else?
Is it negative? I mean, he just his body has just failed him. You
Right.
know, at critical times. You know, he came back today, and Nick Nurse. I sent you a clip. You know, of Nick Nurse saying, "Well, he tried. You know, he gave us all he had." And you
That's not
know,
a great endorsement.
no, I mean, but what
So
can he do?
Embiid, like you said, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers. He was -9 for the game.
Mm,
I'll tell you who was worse. Paul George. You know,
yeah,
while a friend of mine mentioned to me, and I didn't realize it, you know, watching the game, but he told me he scored all 15 points in the first quarter.
in the first
All
quarter,
of
yeah,
his 15 points were in the first quarter. He's had 0 the rest of the game.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's done that the second game in a row. He started off hot,
Right.
and you thought, "Oh, here we go, the old George, you know, the old Paul George," and then nothing. You know,
Yeah.
that's like your boy in Cleveland getting one rebound.
Who was
Uh,
that?
who's the center of
Allen
the
or Mobley?
Mobley?
Mobley.
Mobley. That was the
Mhm.
talk of talk radio. How could you get one rebound?
Yeah, that's
You,
pretty
you,
bad.
you,
When you're 6'10" and athletic, come on.
yeah, and one rebound. You know, they said he's soft. So
Mhm.
you know, so yeah. So I don't know. So I guess it looks like Detroit. Looks like could be Detroit and the Knicks in a rematch of last year's what was it quarterfinal game?
Yeah, something like that. Where and the Knicks just squeaked by, and that was
Yeah.
it was, and then this year Detroit smoked the Knicks in the regular season, and there was a lot of talk of, they felt so, they were just so embarrassed. They felt like they should have won that playoff series last year, and they just stuck it to the Knicks in the regular season. And I saw a couple of those games in the regular season. They really destroyed the Knicks.
Mm.
So now Detroit struggled with Orlando, but since Game 6 of that series, it's kind of similar to the
Yeah.
Knicks. Like since Game 6 against the Hawks, the Knicks have been great. Game 6 in Detroit series, they've been great. So I think it's going to be, it's going to be a real series between Detroit and New York if that happens.
Yeah. Well, Knicks fans, finally, well, I shouldn't say finally,
Yeah, they
because
were there last year.
you were there last year, so this is still charted territory. I think now it will get to deep cotton, high cotton, if they get into the finals, and that'll be the first time in the finals since when? When was the last time they were in the finals?
What, 2000, something like that? Wasn't
Yeah.
that the
So
Allen Houston?
wow, it'll be like 20 something years, man. So wow, that now Knicks fans, you could at that point you could start climbing up telephone poles and all that.
You think it's fair just getting to the finals? They can do all that,
Well, they better win it.
right?
They better win. I saw Clyde. I said, man, how do you feel about it? Do you really want them to get to win? Because I mean, you know, I mean,
And
what
what did he
does
say? He had to say yes,
yeah, of course, yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, he just said, let's go, which is not yes.
That's true.
So yeah, so I think if we could talk about that if they get closer, what that means for the city. It'd be a good look for Mondami. I mean, he could claim it. He
Right,
claimed that he had something to do with it,
right.
and tell Trey Young that's why Trey Young's career is over.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, just briefly, just as an aside, you brought up Mondami. The New York Post social media, they blamed Mondami for the Mets' poor start because they said early in the season he hugged Mr. Met, and he gave the Mets bad luck, and they lost
Yeah,
12 straight after that. So it was
right.
all Mamdani's fault, and that's from the Post.
Of
Okay.
course. But the Mets won yesterday. The
No,
Mets
they lost yesterday. They won 2 out of 3. They
right.
lost. They lost yesterday. I don't know what they're doing tonight.
Yeah.
But
Well, look at the bright side. Don't be negative, Jamal.
okay,
Don't be
I'm
negative.
trying.
Look,
All right.
look on the bright side. And indeed, and B's legacy. I mean, to put a bow on that, he's won. It doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah,
He's won. You sent me those money. His salary is incredible.
incredible.
But I mean,
I
what
mean,
they
what
owe him, they owe him
isn't that
this
what
year,
isn't that what
the
America's all
next
about?
year. Yeah, it's the money and the championship. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be nice,
Yeah.
but yeah, you
Yeah.
know
It's like speaking of the president, same thing. He's enriched himself. He's brought the country down, but he's enriched himself, and that's what it's all about. That's America, right?
yeah, money, money is the highest value.
Right.
So so we'll see, but for the fans, it'll be a big deal for New York. But we won't we won't talk about that until they win, and then we could look forward to whoever they're going to play. I'm looking at on.
This series is over, right? 3-0. It's over.
You would think so. You would
Right.
think so.
I mean, it's never happened before, right? No team has ever come back
No, and it's
in
not
the
going to be.
NBA.
It's not going to be
No.
Embiid. But although if he wants to polish his legacy, he could lead them. He could lead them from from what they're down 3-0. He
Mhm.
could lead them back. They could go back to the Garden. Well, the best they could do is go back to the Garden, 3-2,
3-1,
3-1,
and
three
you
one.
got to win in the Garden,
Yeah, which they will
win in
not.
Philly again. Yeah, it's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's not going to happen. So
So it's over.
I think they probably should just go ahead and close up on Mother's Day.
Yeah,
And then,
they should,
yeah, I
and
mean, they go.
they probably will. Like you would think, the Knicks might have a letdown, but I'm not so sure. Like we said, like the Knicks are very comfortable in Philly.
Yep, yep. All right, man. Well, listen, short and sweet, no drama. The biggest story here was Knicks fans taking over uh, the 76ers home court, despite Embiid pleading for them to not sell their tickets.
And you're in the building. You felt that they took over.
Clearly,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, you felt it wasn't quite Madison Square Garden, but it wasn't this. There was no home court advantage.
Right,
So
right.
we'll see what it is on Mother's Day. See how many of these people stick around. So,
I can't see it.
well, I hope you guys have a good Mother's Day. I hope you have some plans to to do right. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you
I'm
got all.
trying. I'm trying. I'll do my best.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. But happy Mother's Day, and see you out now. Will you be available after Game 3, after Game 4?
Yeah, I'll be
What you
available. I'll be available. No extracurricular stuff.
got? Okay. All right. Well, I don't want you to blame me for.
No. It's worth it. It's worth it for sure.
All right. All right, everybody. Listen, Knicks. I wouldn't even say pull it out. The Knicks, crush Philadelphia to take a commanding 3-0 lead.
Jalen Brunson, 33 points.
Jalen Brunson, has he ever been the league MVP?
No. 33-9 tonight. Very impressive.
Yeah, he could. Well, the voting's already in, so
Yeah, he won't get MVP this year, but I mean, he's that boy good.
he's good. No question about it. There's no nepotism there.
Well, reverse maybe.
Yeah, reverse nepotism. Although his father's still on the bench.
That's what I mean. Like, would his father be the coach if he weren't on the team?
That's another podcast. Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe not.
But hey, shout out to Rick Brunson. I remember when he was at Temple. Remember that he was like the star. He was supposed to be the guy succeeding. Remember Macon?
Oh yeah, Mark Macon.
Mark
yeah.
Macon.
Yeah, but Brunson had a he had a journeyman's career. He taught
10+ years in the league.
Yeah, and he'd been going here, there. Funny he said he didn't want his son to have to go through that, to do what he did. Just go to this team, that team, and his son would just remark how hard he had to work just to hang on.
Yeah, and he trained the hell out of his son.
Yeah.
There's video proof of him training his son from a young age. Maybe I should look at those tapes.
I don't know, Jamal. I don't know about that.
All right, no, maybe not.
I don't know. We'll see. This time.
Right.
This time. Although get to that age, 13. What that's you got to make a decision.
That's true.
You got to make it. Is this going to be? We're going to go after this, or are we just going to kind of have fun?
Yeah. I mean, fun is important. Fun. Gotta have fun.
Yeah. But it's that tuition. You get that
And
paid
I how
tuition,
about NIL? How about that?
NIL money. Yeah. Have good growth spurts. All of a sudden, if he goes up to if he's like 6'4" or something,
Yeah,
you'll have no choice.
yeah. Got to go all in.
Six four, and then you make him play quarterback. 6'4" quarterback.
They're making like $5 million nowadays, Bill. Just for college.
Just college. Who knows? You can just do college and call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day. Go get your law degree after that. How about that?
Exactly. Yeah, man. But you got to start thinking about it now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, man. See you. Have a great Mother's Day, and we'll see everybody. Everybody have a great Mother's Day. Not just Jamal. Everybody have a great Mother's Day.
Yes.
And see everybody next Sunday.